Hello everyone. If the title of this video wasn't clear, we're playing Rodeo Clown, which is a game I made. I released it in August. You should all totally go buy it on Steam. It's so cheap, and it's so good. See, there's my name in the credits. Xavier Bell with terrible kerning. Music by Aiden Zaccone. Well, and I'll talk about music later, but yeah, I'm going to play through the entire game. I'm going to read through it because this is a visual novel, which requires a lot of reading. But it's going to be fun because, you know, I love reading. And I did it for my last game, Trail of the Wretched. I played through the whole thing. It's a very self-indulgent activity, recording yourself playing your own game and reading your own writing, but we'll call it self-reflection. I'm doing it for the betterment of my writing skills or something. So yeah, Rodeo Clown. Let's get it. New game. Yeah. And because I made this game, I have an endless well of anecdotes and wicked trivia. Like, for example, this opening time-lapse is literally just from my window where my computer is. If I look above my computer, I'm looking at that window right now. Crazy. And now, there's the game. And I'm not going to start reading just yet. I want to talk about stuff. Yeah, this is going to take a while because this is a long game. Like 4 hours just playing it normally. And I'm going to do every single thing I can. And I'm going to be constantly stopping to talk about stuff, so do not expect me to play this all in one sitting. It's going to take a while. Right, off the bat, look how beautiful this is. I'm going to turn off the UI because I can do that. Isn't that just the grass, the bent signpost, the wind vane thing? I don't know what they're officially called. Windmill that sucks water from the ground. The power lines, it's all very, I don't know how to describe it. It feels dusty. Dusty is like my go-to word for describing this game because it's just what it is. It's dusty, it's old, it's bleak. In a fun way. But yes, you'll notice the color scheme of this. It's very binary monochrome, whereas the UI is like really bright orange, like you can see here. And this is kind of a clash of two ideas that I've just never really bothered to sync up. So this whole color scheme here was initially like this was going to be the color of Rodeo Clown back before it was even called Rodeo Clown. Yeah, this is the color. Brown and shit and piss and all those colors. You know, the classic Unreal 3 piss filter. But my last game, Trail of the Wretched, also had that color scheme. I'm like, wait a minute, that's really boring. I mean, yeah, it fits the tone of the game, and the rest of the game is still pretty similar in this tone, but I made the UI intentionally very, almost obnoxiously bright. Because it's just a fun, you know, contrast. And that's all I can say on the UI because not much thought went into it beyond that, at least in the color scheme. Alright, let's start reading. Driving down an endless road across a featureless waste, you feel a thought coming up. You should have been a truck driver. Great thought. Yeah, elaborate on that. Think about it. You'd be out there on the open plains, driving merrily, packing a fat lip, experiencing everything this great nation has to offer. Name these things. Truck stop toilets, truck stop coffee, truck stop gasoline fumes, truck stop trucks. Oh yeah. To top it off, you'd be alone all day. You could listen to whatever music you want and no one would judge. There's a recurring motif throughout the game. Music. The music is actually the best part. You could realistically become an expert in every single genre ever. There ain't a person alive who doesn't yearn for such knowledge. Yes, music. You'll notice the title, these words, that's the title of this conversation, and every conversation in the game, which is like every, I guess, scene, has a title, and it's a title of a song. So this one, American Tune, it's a lot of, I think there's like 50 songs called American Tune, but the one I'm referencing here is by, they used to be called Andrew Jackson Jihad, now they're just AJJ. But it's a very, I don't want to call it funny, but you just have to listen to it yourself. Very cynical song. Cynical in a funny way. And it's also heavily, I picked these songs for a reason. They're all related to the game, whether that be through their lyrics or their tone or whatever. So I think you would gain a lot from listening to these songs. Perhaps not while you're reading the game, but it's like a companion piece. I'm appropriating others' work for my own gain. But hey, lots of games use music titles. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to turn the music up as well because it's very quiet. Yes, the music. It's very beautiful. Do we yearn for such knowledge? Is that terrible? Or... yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a truck driver, so I can learn every single genre ever. Haven't you heard the saying? Musical variety is the spice of life. It's high time you branched out, got educated. Why not try some shit gaze? Or maybe bro country? They probably make you feel less shit about life. Probably. I have listened to shit gaze, or some shit gaze. It's a very vague and nondescript genre, but I guess it's loud and has lots of very painful guitars in it. But it's pretty good. Bro country, on the other hand, well, you'll see how I feel about that in a second. Yeah. I'm sure those genres would be great for my mental fortitude. What does shit gaze even sound like? I just told you. I'm driving my truck headfirst into a power pole if I have to listen to bro country. Brother, you really hit the nail on the head there. Come on, you haven't even heard it yet. If you want to be a truck driver, you've got to have an open mind. I'm not becoming a truck driver. I've got other things going on. Okay, you're not a truck driver. What are you then? You can't even begin to answer that question. You're simultaneously everything you hate and everything you love. A superposition of self-loathing. In less abstract terms, shit. You're going to hear me say shit a lot in this playthrough because, I don't know, you could say it's my favourite word. Your introspective daydream is cut short by the roar of an aeroplane. You look out the window and see a crop duster flying low and loud over the paddocks. There it is. And you can hear it. Check out that plane model. It's totally not... That's a beautiful model, but you never see it up close because you only see it in this opening scene. Which is a shame because I put a lot of effort into that model. I don't know why, because I never had any ideas beyond putting it in this scene, but you get distracted when you're modeling and you just say, I'm going to put detail where it doesn't need to be. Don't do that. I guess I should say that I modeled everything you see because I worked on this game basically alone, so I'm proud of myself and I'm going to make sure that everyone knows how much work I put into this. It's moving it close to the same speed as you, so it appears almost completely frozen. You laugh in amazement. Hey, eyes on the road. Yeah, sorry. You straighten your neck and face the road like a good attentive driver. There's nary a corner or gradient in sight. The black tar beneath your car converges toward a singular point on the horizon, then drops off the threshold to infinity. What a beautiful sentence. I'm allowed to compliment my own work because it's been like 2 months since I played this game. I literally released it and then never looked at it again. So I'm looking at it with fresh eyes and pretending it wasn't me who made it. And therefore I get to compliment it. And also, if I don't like my work, who will? You sneak a glance out the driver's side window across that mystical prairie. Summer has reduced it to bitter shades of brown and yellow. Atop a small rise is a pile of tyres, beside which a group of cows are grazing. Far off in the distance, a thin plume of smoke merges up into the clouds. Time passes and the cows evaporate. Soon they're replaced by oil wells. As quickly as one disappears behind you, another appears in front. You can't help but nod your head along with the pump jacks. Their rhythm is infectious and sinister. Drive a little further, come across a great light. In the sea of oil wells, a solitary pillar of fire shooting up into the sky. Below the flame are a crowd of burly men, none of whom seem to be doing anything except staring in awe. One particularly jolly fellow turns and waves as your car flies past. Little trivia. That was, I guess, sort of inspired by the film Lessons of Darkness by, oh god, is it Werner Herzog or Werner? In Better Call Saul, like Werner Ziegler. I'm gonna call him Werner Herzog. Yeah, his film Lessons of Darkness. Great film. It's about the Gulf War, and like there's a scene in it where it's a documentary, I should add, where all these dudes, they're like American firefighters, and they're basically got sent into the desert to put out all the fires because the oil wells got set on fire when I think the Iraqis were leaving. They were there to put them out, and then there's a scene where they literally throw a flaming like rag or something into the oil well just to see it light on fire again, because I guess they want to see an oil well on fire. That's just like it's hard to explain it. It's a very surreal scene, and even weirder that it was like a literal, it's not fiction, they actually did that. Anyway, trivia concluded. Something about the bizarreness of the scene is inspiring. Upon realizing this, your mood instantly sours. Only artists can be inspired. You're nothing of the sort. You're just some guy. You weren't given the gift of expression. Inspiration without expression is like torture. It's a $100 bill taped to the end of a fishing line. It's all the build up to a sneeze without any of the sneeze. I feel very strongly about that. Inspiration without like an outlet is awful. And I guess Rodeo Clown is my outlet of creative expression, but you know, sometimes like I want to make music, I have an idea, I'm inspired and I want to make music, but I can't make music, and that's the worst feeling ever. I could teach myself to make music, but that's hard. And therefore I just write about how sad I am that I can't write music, you know? Makes for good reading. Susie always said you're an artist without the art, all the ideas, none of the means. She knew you better than you knew yourself. Susie. You should call her. She knows I'm coming, this was planned. She might have got caught up at work. Shit, she could have changed her mind. Well, we don't know her yet, but let's make a choice anyway. I don't know. Surely she'd have called me. Yeah, she would have called me, surely. You haven't looked at your phone in the past hour. Maybe she did. Let's find out then. Reach down and grab your phone from the cup holder. Glancing at the lock screen, you see nothing except Special Agent Dale Cooper giving you a reassuring thumbs up. Another piece of trivia. Yeah, this is going to be a long playthrough. I wrote this line to the game because I knew who Dale Cooper was. But I hadn't seen Twin Peaks. I just understood, like, yeah, he's a character in it, and he does the thumbs up all the time. So I wrote that line because I'm like, yeah, the main character of this game is going to be a fan of Twin Peaks. But I hadn't seen Twin Peaks. I'm like, wait, that's a bad idea. You should never write about something if you haven't actually at least seen it or like researched it heavily. Especially like with like, say a movie. So me writing about Twin Peaks, I knew nothing about it beyond it had Dale Cooper in it. So I went and I watched the entire series, the movie and The Return. And then I came back. I did this all in the middle of development, and suffice to say, it had a very heavy, big impact on the trajectory of this game, which maybe not immediately obvious because it's a very grounded game, but I'll point it out when I see it. And yeah, Twin Peaks is amazing. Everyone go watch it, please. No notifications. Cooper is smiling. Nothing to worry about. Look at the top right, dipshit. Looking at the top right of your phone, you're shocked to discover there's no reception, 0 bars. You know what that means? There's a chance she's already tried to call you. Maybe? Hell, it's basically guaranteed. Get paranoid, motherfucker. Yes, the voice in our head is not a passive narrator. The voice in our head is a bit of an instigator, a bit of a bad influence, a bit of everything. Technically, it's just like, I'm not going to go into detail yet, but the voice in your head plays a big role. Big role. You look back to the road. There are no more oil wells to nod your head to. The only indication of your speed is the seemingly endless parade of power poles charging at you through the thick afternoon haze. In the distance, something new materializes. That's a payphone. Stop the car, call her. Good idea. You ease off the accelerator and let your car roll toward its destination. The payphone grows in size as you draw near. You press down on the brakes and turn left into the gravel offshoot. The payphone sits alone on a concrete slab a few meters from where you parked. Get out. Greeted with a great gust of wind as you step out of the car. The scent of smoke lingers in the air. And are we ready? Here's the actual game. Get rid of that off the screen. Yep, it's a first-person walking sim now. Nobody's ever done that before. This is what I was talking about when I said brown color tone. Brown, yellow, kind of white as well. Very white. Almost heavenly, if you want to look at it that way. Speaking of heaven, hell is real, apparently, according to this sign. Oh, there's weird ghosting on that sign. I don't like that. Yes. I remember reading an article. I think there's like a sign or a bunch of signs in like Ohio. And it's literally just this, hell is real. And when I saw that, I'm like, holy shit, this is perfect. I need to put that in my game. And so I put it in my game. Now there's a sign that says hell is real. I'm going to turn the music down. And what else can I add about that sign beyond the absurdity of having a sign in the middle of nowhere that says hell is real? Yes. Right, let's do what we came here to do. We can look around, but there's not really much to look at beyond suspicious rock, which I'm not going to look at. Let's call Susie, like we said we would. Approach the lonely payphone. Rust eats away at its edges, and the once vibrant paint is fading. I love rust. Rust is amazing, and it's really easy to texture as well. Makes stuff look realistic, in air quotes. I'm not really going for realism here, but it's good for detail. Makes everything look old and worn, and I guess gives it character. Let's examine its details. Looking closer at the metallic surface, you see various engravings of love and rebellion. Names of people you'll never know, words of wisdom you'll forget in 2 minutes. Jane Sydney forever. Lacks passion? Yes, it does. Shoot your landlord. Too direct. Sort of. Classic engraving though. D.B. Cooper lives. Not fucking likely. Yeah, that might have been an old engraving. Brother has not been on the internet lately. What are you looking for? Excellent question. What are you looking for? There's a phone call to be made. Stop stalling. Grab the phone. You pick up the phone and look at the buttons laid bare, 1 to 9, all scratched and worn from 1,000 years of torment. God, that's dramatic. I'm just calling a person. This is how all my phone calls go. I make everything really dramatic because it's bloody scary. This whole game is about how I'm scared of making phone calls. One digit after the other, just like you used to do on your parents' landline. take the easy way out, but this is not a self-insert. I'm playing a character who can call people. So you dial the rest of the numbers, then hold the phone to your ear and wait. A bead of sweat rolls down your forehead. You wait an excruciatingly long time. Nothing happens. Maybe the phone is broken. No, it's a payphone. Payphone. You've got to put the coins in the slot. Oh. Alright, that's ridiculous. If you pick that, I guess if you pick that, you were going for the funny option. You're going for the funny playthrough, but we are not doing the funny playthrough because the whole game is funny no matter what. Oh. Rummaging through your pocket, you somehow produce 4 quarters. You push each of them into the slot and then listen as they fall into the belly of the contraption with a satisfying series of clinks and clangs. Yeah. Try again. You dial the number once more and hold the phone to your ear. Ringing. Noise on the other end of the line, then a voice. Ahoy hoy. Yeah. I assume everyone understands what that is. Mr. Burns. I mean, it's not Mr. Burns, it's just how I'm assuming like Alexander Graham Bell wanted people to answer the phone, but epic reference, dude. Hello. You're alive, breathe mysteriously. I'm going to highlight an issue with my game because there is no greater joy in life than shitting on your own work. It's the whole... Like, this game is sort of presented from a first-person, second-person perspective, and it's kind of a weird mixture of that. So the dialogue choices a sort of second person, it's kind of hard to tell. Like this one, it's, you could say it's first person because it's like saying exactly what the dude's about to say, but this one is technically second person. That's my intention, is you're alive, meaning I, the player character, am alive, but it kind of gets lost in translation, and like you might be referring to like she's alive, and so that whole second person first person thing just gets really convoluted and a pain in the ass. And I think, like, it's not a big deal in the game, but because I wrote, this is one of the first scenes I wrote, you kind of like, I don't know, I just never got around to making this more clear. Maybe I should. Nah, I'm already working on something else, so fuck this game. No more updates, screw you. Let's say you're alive. And see, now it goes to first person, I'm alive. Which might confuse people, but if you were confused by that and you're watching this, be glad that I've just laid it and made it clear. What? You fucking idiot. Speak like a normal person. Yeah, speak like a normal person. Oh, Des, I didn't recognize the number. Are you calling me from a payphone? Correct. Yep. Okay, how far away are you? Oh dear. I haven't got an ETA, but I left Lubbock about an hour ago. Might have taken the scenic route by mistake. What was the name of the town again? Seymour. If you left Lubbock about an hour ago and you're headed in the right direction, I'd say you're roughly 2 hours away. Why don't you just use a map on your phone? No reception, or maps are cheating. Alright, this is a self-author self-insert. I don't give a damn. Maps are cheating. You gotta look at like the bloody sun and calculate north and east and south and west and all that. Don't look at a map. I'm being sarcastic, but I do find joy in getting to places without looking at a map. Maps are cheating. A crave challenge. Looking at a map is like looking at the answers to a crossword before you've finished it. I'm better than that. Facts. Brother is spitting. Jesus, you haven't changed at all. Well, it's good to know you're still on your way. I've got some things I need to do, so I'll see you tonight, yeah? Wrap it up. Let's not keep it talking because we're nice. You shall. Great. Remember, 6:30. Bye. You're left with the dial tone. Did that go well? These are my favorite choices where there is no, what's the word? There is no result from any of these choices beyond how do you feel about this thing, basically. And that's fun. Because you're like, hey, person playing the game, how do you feel about what just happened? It's like therapy. Except incredibly, I guess, far less useful. How does the player feel about what just went down? I have no idea. It went as well as it could have gone, or it was a disaster. For the sake of variety, let's say it was a disaster. What reason would she have for going to this dinner if she still hated you? Many reasons. Scary reasons I don't want to think about. Don't think about them then. Yeah, like I said, the voice in our head is not a positive mentor, or not something to be aspired, not an aspirational figure. The voice in our head is a liar, a cheat, scoundrel, rapscallion, lollygagger, ne'er-do-well. What else is there? Miscreant. I've run out of words. You sit the phone back in its holder and step away from the payphone. Let's go back to our car. Turn away from the payphone. Right, from here, I said I was going to do everything, but I'm not going to do every single thing in the game because that would take forever. But you could talk to this suspicious rock, and by talk, I mean look at it and philosophize. But I'm not going to do that because I guess I want people to play the game. And if you're the sicko who was watching this without playing the game, that's okay. You don't have to play the game. I would appreciate it if you did, but I don't know, go pirate it or something. Pirate my game if you want. The more people play it, the better. Yeah, let's get back in our car. After I've told you to pirate my game. On the road again, you lose all sense of time. Rocket USA, I'm going to stop before I start reading this. Rocket USA, that's a song by Suicide. That whole album, I don't even know what the album called. I think it's self-titled. Yeah, it's from their debut album. Good album. Sounds very unique and you should all go listen to it. Suicide, Rocket USA. On the road again, you lose all sense of time. The horizon keeps its card held to its chest. One can only hope this path leads somewhere worth going. But this is a real choice. Listen to the radio, put your music on, sit in silence like a sicko. I've been in cars with people. I'm going to vent, and hopefully the person I'm about to vent about isn't watching this, but I've been in cars with people who either they sit in silence or they have like those Spotify playlists where it's like kind of like a mixture of like radio, so it's like playing like random news snippets from like ABC radio or some shit, and then like these random songs in between that is like curated for you. And it's like, that is the worst way to listen to music. One, because they shove ads in there. Two, because I don't want to listen to bloody news while I'm trying to listen to music. Or even worse, instead of like radio news snippets, I'll put in like snippets of podcasts, and not the whole podcast, just snippets. And if you're someone who likes to listen to podcasts in the car, that's fine. I'm not going to begrudge you your pastime. But in my world, the car is for music and music alone. I don't want to hear any radio announcers, and I don't want to hear any podcasts. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to put my music on. Press the Bluetooth button on the steering wheel and wait for your phone to connect. After a moment of anxious waiting, nothing happens. No reception, remember? Oh shit. I have songs downloaded. Why? Because this is a new phone. You probably forgot to download them again. Oh my god. Yeah, I was just hyping up. Yeah, we listen to music in my car, but we don't listen to music in this car because we forgot to download our songs. Can't believe this. Hey, at least you've got the radio. Go ahead and see what the Texas airwaves have to offer. I think this is the first time I mentioned this game is actually in Texas. I mean, it's kind of obvious if you were paying attention. She talks about you driving out of Lubbock and going to Seymour, which is also a town in Texas. But if it wasn't obvious, it is now, because I literally say we are in Texas. And I'll perhaps nail or like go into detail about why it's set in Texas, considering I'm just some guy from Australia who's never been to Texas, but that's a dense topic. Yeah, let's just listen to the radio. We get through this. Press the radio button on the built-in stereo. All it emits from the speakers is static, so you press the seek button and pray for something listenable. That's all you can do. The first station that appears is playing a song you haven't heard. The singer sounds awfully broken up about whatever woes have struck their heart. Lonely road, lead me off a cliff. I'm falling into an ocean of whiskey. Drink up, let the thoughts dissolve. We're in country music country. How long till he mentions this truck? Yeah, brother. Have you figured out how I feel about country? Actually, no, obviously I have opinions on like modern country or whatever, but there is also plenty of good modern country. Like Zach Bryan isn't a blatantly obvious one. Everyone loves Zach Bryan. I guess pop country and like the whole, I don't know how you describe it, gentrification or like appropriation of it. I don't know how to describe it, but like lacking substance, shall we say. Mentioning your truck, singing about whiskey and cold beer on a Friday night, you know that shit. Let's not listen to that. Press the seek button once again and I'm met by the sound of wailing guitars. There are no lyrics, just noise. Sounds much older than the previous song and far less vomit-inducing. The drone gets progressively more abrasive. Those guitars are in immense pain. If you know of a radio station that plays like drone metal or like noise rock, obviously I'm in Australia and I doubt there is many stations that play that, but damn, it'd be cool if there was radio stations that played that music. Now let's go to the next station. The next station the radio lands on is playing an ad for Weed Killer. The person doing the voiceover is screaming his brains out. The fate of the universe depends on you buying this Weed Killer. Yeah, I don't want to care. I don't want to listen to that. The next station is a talkback radio show. The hosts are arguing about the supposed benefits of urinating in the shower. Here we go. Larry, toilet pisser. It's disgusting, seriously. You're standing there stewing in your own piss. That ain't right. Well, damn, Larry, you ain't pissing directly onto yourself. There's a drain for draining, you know. Yeah, okay. If any of you listeners have an opinion on this, go ahead and call up. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Alright, talkback radio. This is where radio shines. You have an opinion, you need to call them. Yeah, I don't have any reception. Maybe, but it was worth a try anyway. Don't be making phone calls while you're driving either. That's my PSA. Look out, we got a caller. What's your name and how you doing? Kenneth, intellectual. Ken, and I'm doing below average, but don't you worry about that. Alright, Ken. Well, I won't be worrying then. So, Ken, what do you got to add to this discussion? Urinating in the shower, world's gone mad. My least favourite saying, world's gone mad. World has not gone mad. Larry the toilet pisser has gone mad. Honestly, I think if you gotta go, just go. Showers and toilets all end up in the same place either way. Look at that, Larry. Someone with a lick of sense. Oh, Kenneth. Don't you think it'd be more hygienic to be going to the toilet like everyone else? Well, Lawrence, it's Ken, and to rebut, you need to understand that there's a technique to this. Of course, I won't be able to speak for everyone, but my technique is all about accuracy. Splashback can be almost entirely eliminated if one simply takes a moment to line it up. Naturally, there will be some edge cases related to the make and model of the drain cover, but on the whole, it's up to the urinator. But don't you think... Hold on, Larry. You also have to consider the environmental benefits to urinating in the shower. Did you know that a single flush could use up to 3 gallons of water? Why waste such a precious commodity when you could urinate in the shower for a fraction of the cost? You want to save water, don't you, Larry? Yeah, I do, but then the answer is simple. We are on the verge of ecological collapse. The water is scarce, the earth is dying. The least we could do as a species is piss in the shower. I believe that's more than reasonable. You did a lot of thinking about that, didn't you, Ken? Oh yeah. The caller immediately hangs up. Larry changes the subject to something new and you sit there astounded by what you just heard. The magic of talkback radio. Like Twitter. Maybe not Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Go fuck yourself, Elon Musk. Twitter has kind of replaced that talkback radio thing. post. You know, you post an opinion, or you ask for an opinion, and you get a swath of people appearing in the replies, also having opinions. It's a very, like, if you want to nail it down, go back to like just the human psychology of we love airing our opinions on shit. And before it was radio, now it's on the internet. I guess Reddit is really popular for that as well. I don't use Twitter, by the way. Like, you've got to clarify that nowadays. Yes, I'm not a Twitter user. Please don't think of me as a Twitter user. I'm not a Nazi. And if you still use Twitter, you should seriously consider deleting your account because Elon Musk is a fascist. What team are we on? Sorry, I'm getting off track here, but it goes without saying what I've just said. What team are you on? Well, considering I wrote this whole spiel about pissing in the shower, it's pretty obvious which I, the author, team am on. But let's go with the aggressive option and say sink pisses. True environmentalists. All sinks are really just malformed urinals when you think about it. Simple topology. Yeah. We love topology here. Put the urine thoughts out of your mind for the time being and focus on the road ahead. Faceless world passes by. An ocean of grass, broken up by the occasional barn or shed. At one point you overtake a tractor being driven by a kid. He waves and shoots you a gap-toothed grin as you overtake him. That's actually like a thing I've experienced in real life pretty often from where I was from. Not so much now, but back in the day when I was like, I don't know, a teenager. I lived out in the countryside, out in the sticks, and yeah, it was pretty often you'd see like kids driving on like public roads, driving their like tractors with hay bales, or like, whatchamacallums, the things that like put the hay bales in silo. Just driving around public roads like 14, 15-year-olds. I went to school with a few of those kids. It's pretty funny. It's a real farmer town, you know. But I don't know if that happens in Texas. I'm assuming Texas is maybe more lax than Australia on that shit. Did we just go off track? I think we just went off track. Barbed wire fences stretch as far as the eye can see. Trapped within their confines are beasts of the bovine variety. They crane their necks to get a glimpse of your car as it passes by. Your attention makes you feel important. You get to thinking about all the things you want to say to her, all the words you should have said last time, about how you've changed, about how you've got what it takes. The sky becomes rose-tinted. This road is your way back to the top. The end of the rainbow is real and Suzanne waits there for you. Stop. Yeah, let me joke. There's something wrong with the car. Stop. You snap back to reality and look at the dash. All the lights are gone. You hear a loud bang. The car loses drive. Everything is dead. You turn the keys in the ignition while the car rolls forward. Nothing happens. This is bad. This is very bad. She's going to think you're dead. She's going to think you changed your mind. Oh my god. In the distance, buildings fade into view. The road widens and you roll into the main street of a small town. Scene transition. Here we are. Who's this dude? Come to rest in front of an abandoned commercial row. On the opposite side of the road, a man sits alone, watching you curiously. Afternoon, you need something? He's none of one of those weird second person, first person hoo-has. I'm fucked. What was that? The other didn't hear you would approve of your profanity. Your car broken down? Yep, dead. Turn the keys, might still go. No, it's gone. No point beating a dead horse. I can think of 3 reasons to beat a dead horse. Maybe 4. Alright, Ernest, elaborate on that. Give me the first reason. If the horse had the devil in it, gotta keep beating it for a while after it dies. Is he being sarcastic? It'll be weird if you don't laugh. But what if he's serious? Dilemma. Let's remain silent because... What's the worst? No, we'll remain silent. Pick the safe route and keep quiet. Joking. Come on. Damn it. Sorry, I'm not the best at reading sarcasm. Whatever. Looks like you're stuck here now. Tough luck. The man puts his cigarette out in the ashtray beside his chair and walks up to the window of your car. Can you introduce yourself? I don't know why I included the option to say no here, but I did. If someone asks you to introduce yourself in a friendly manner, please introduce yourself. Des. Yeah, we're named Des. That's our name. Des. There's a list of characters here. Desmond, that's who we are. Am I supposed to have an opinion on myself? I'd rather have opinions on more interesting things. I'm not worth my time. Yeah, we do a little... We don't appreciate our self-worth in this game. What about Susie? Light of my life, etc, etc. Hopefully I'm the light of her life. If not, what am I going to do about it? Cry? Yeah, most likely. These are all the other characters in the game. The X's make it seem like they're dead or something, but no, we just haven't seen them yet. Oh, we saw Larry and M, the shower pisser and the toilet pisser and the intellectual, what's his name, Kenneth. But these only update at the end of every conversation, so they'll show up after. Des, he doesn't like your name. I'm Ernest. This is my house you've parked your car in front of. Did you know that? Yep. I'm aware. Any mechanics in town really need to be somewhere right now. Well, there was Brian. But, let me guess, he isn't in town today? You could say that. It's actually a few miles out of town. Under 6 feet of dirt, to be exact. How did he die? Or, yeah, we need a phone. I don't care about Brian. That's too bad. Anyone got a landline I could use? Don't have any mobile reception. You can use my landline if you like. Not like I'm ever using it. We are not nosy, so let's just get out. You take the keys from the ignition and open the door. You ought to take better care of this car. You ignore the comment and step out of the vehicle. Phone's just in the kitchen. Meet you inside. That's a... Because this is a game, we're just going to ignore this option. But... I guess, beware the friendly stranger. It's a Borge of Canada song, isn't it? That's something about that. Go. You watch Ernest retreat into his house. You lock your car door, put the keys in your back pocket, then head toward the front door. And now, we are free in the town of, let me just go over here, Aurora, Texas. Which is a fictional town. I'm just going to say that right off the bat because there is a real town in Texas called Aurora, I'm pretty sure. But no, this is a fictional town. And I want to stress that this is not based on anywhere real. Probably have like a disclaimer at the start of the game saying that, but good old Aurora. Small anecdote. This is a very depressing anecdote, but I'm just a silly Australian. What do I know? So from here, sorry to kill the mood, if there was a mood, we can either go into Ernest's house and use his landline, or we could just walk around. We can't do anything yet because, like, you have to make the phone call to the tow truck company before you do anything else in the game. But I'm just going to walk around and kind of show you the scenery because I don't want to get stuck in a very long conversation because I want this episode to end. So I'll walk around for like another 5 minutes and show you some stuff about the town because I'm very proud of this town. I built it all by myself. Let's check out the community art project. As you can see, it's in a bit of disrepair. Nobody's bothered to keep it in its former glory. I like this one in particular. And you won't believe where the hell I bloody got this artwork from, because it's not my artwork. It's from a very, very, like, literally 100-year-old yearbook for, I never remember, some old university from California. Because I was just looking, like, you know, if you want to pass the time, go look through, like, old archives, like university archives, library, or, like, Library of Congress. That's amazing for just stuff to look at. And especially really old stuff, and that's how I found this. I wasn't looking specifically for artwork to put on a wall. I was just looking, and I found artwork. And because it's over 100 years old, this is from like 1914, public domain. And you know, artists, we love public domain. Copyright law, boring. Here are the contributors: Bertrand Bull, Douglas Jackson, Violet Jackson, Grace Patrick, and Lucia Shelley. And we will meet Lucia later, but I won't reveal much about her character yet, but she is the goat. Alright, what else can I show you before I shut down? This is the mechanics that I think Ernest mentioned. There's a couple of children here. What do we call them? Youth crime wave. Forgot about that. Good old youth crime wave. If it wasn't obvious yet, this is a very, I guess, politically charged game. I guess I'm a politically charged person, but I've been throwing my opinions out there like everybody, like Modest Mouse says, giving out opinions. Opinions were like kittens, I was giving them away. That's the lyric. So yes, this game has a lot of opinions. This bench is dedicated to those who never got what they deserved. Yep. What about the other bench? This bench is dedicated to the workers of the world. What a beautiful bench. What a beautiful little memorial. For who, you might ask? Dedicated to the veterans of Aurora, and to all those who gave their life to preserve freedom in the United States of America. We'll come back to this later because because like I said, I haven't gone and done the phone call, but after I do the phone call, I can sort of come back and do like interactions with this stuff, but right now I'm just showing you high level stuff. Signs. What is that? That is not a real animal, just if you were wondering. Railway crossing, some dude's car with the classic horns. What else have we got out here? Ah. Is this a secret? A long neck. This game has secrets. Stats. Progress 8%, character spent 6 out of 19, secrets found 1 of 9, and that was just this thing I just did. That's 1 of the 9 secrets. Mistakes made 2,323 in our lifetime. That's actually measuring how many decisions the player has made. So every time you click a dialogue option, this goes up by 1, because that's funny. Get it? Because every single thing you do is a mistake. Ha 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 ha. And we'll be coming back to this later because this is an ongoing thing with the chalk and the VB long neck. What else can I show you? Yeah, I'm very much meandering now because I don't want to continue the story just yet. But I guess I'll just give you a tour of the town. This is someone's house. Would you believe it? Someone lives here. On Irvine Road, Serenity Avenue. Yeah, these towns, they all have street names. Irvine. No, that's the same. Basketball. We'll be back here later. You can trust me on that. Oh, there's Aurora. Could have shown you that to tell you the name of the town as well. Pallets. I'm going to give a quick shout out to wooden pallets because they are like the perfect, just like space filler, because they're complete like nothing objects. They don't really, but they serve a purpose in real life obviously, but they're so simple both from like a geometry and texture standpoint, and like they don't draw attention to themselves, so they're perfect for just putting in random places like here. Like, why is there a pallet here? That makes 0 sense. But nobody's going to look at that and say, hey, that doesn't make sense. Who could put a pallet there? That's rude, or something like that. They would just accept that there is a pallet there. And it makes the scene feel so much more full. And I've used them everywhere. You might notice, like, there's one in here. Wait, is there? No, I should have put one in there. Never mind. There's one here. There's 2 here. There's a couple out here. I just use them everywhere because they're subtle objects that fill a space. And when you're making a game where you have to model everything yourself. I mean, I didn't have to, but I chose to. Those sorts of objects are like few and far between, and I love them. Same with these rocks. These are all the same model. And yeah, you might notice that, but who cares, because nobody's looking at the rocks. Same with these barrels, these corrugated tin sheets. It's just shit you put it in places that no one is going to notice. But if they're not there, people will notice that the space feels empty. So there's your environmental design tip. Fill it up with random rubbish. Wood boards, cinder blocks, tires, dead trees, trash bags, planks of wood, fire hydrants. Alright, I'm getting a little off track here, but you get the point. And this is, I'm going to end this episode here by showing you my crowning achievement of this game. Tire swing. Which, until the final week of development, was not a tire, well, it was a tire swing, but it was just as baked animation. You couldn't move it. It was not physics based. And then someone mentions when they saw the trailer, because I showed the tire swing and it was just an animation then. And they said, oh, I can't wait to play with the tire swing and like push it around. And when I saw that, I'm like, holy shit, that's the perfect idea, because at that point you couldn't play with it. You could just run into it and just be a static object. But I'm like, wait. People love physics. People love running into stuff and making it move and making it spin. And this is just, this is what we call peak gameplay. Isn't it beautiful? Alright. I will actually end the episode now. So, we are 50 something minutes in. That's too long. So, stay tuned for whenever I upload the next episode. Maybe never. Nah, I'll do another episode. But this is a long game, so this, like I said, this is going to take a while. I will maybe see you next time. If not, buy Rodeo Clown. Play Rodeo Clown. It's on Steam. It's $10 Australian. And if you do buy it, leave a review, because Jesus Christ, people, leave a review. Reviews are like the most valuable thing ever. So when you buy an indie game, not just Rodeo Clown, when you buy any indie game, leave a review, because trust me when I say the developers of that game will love you, especially if it's a positive review. That's your lesson or advice for the day. Alright, that's all. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.